A show of hands if you've ever fallen in love before. Let me see your hand. Let's not lie here. I have ever fallen in love. Please let me see your hand. I can see people that they are falling in love, but it's just that the love cannot be visible here. Okay, let's go. Let's do it one more time. A show of hand if you've ever fallen in love. Is there no love in Otuko? We need love, yeah. Okay, let's see. I believe everybody's hands should be up. A show of hands if you ever fall in love. All right. So I will take it a bit deeper. A show of hand if you've ever failed before. If you ever failed at something before, your GSS3 exam, one carryover, some 2, some 4, you are out of school. All right. So I believe everybody has experienced this. So my topic is love affair, my love affair with failure. Yeah. Failure is like, I will put failure as my baby here. So the very first time we had our relationship, then I didn't even know that we had a relationship, was when I was quite young, I think 10. I was in a football team called Edeh Academy. Our coach was a female. So at every close of school, I would, rush down to the field to do about 5 to 10 laps. In football, we have 3 outcomes when you go for tournaments. The first outcome is either you win, right? Second is what? You draw. And the third will be what? You lose. Ours was consistently 2. We will either lose or draw. And the draw is even rare occasion. I can't remember once that we, won a match. So sad. Now, the second affair I had with failure was when I was in GSS3. It was the last day of our GSS3 exam. Last day of GSS3 exam, we want to groove. I've been saving since GSS1. So I've been, from GSS to that point, GSS3, I already had a lot. Guess how much? 3,000. I had 3,000. I wanted to flex to Dorime, So we all went to the hotel where when we went there to flex, we did a lot. We had friends that could swim, so they went to swim. I can't swim, so I was outside. So we stayed there for a period of time. It got late, about 5 p.m., and then we all needed to go home. But suddenly, this heavy downpour came, and we had to look for cover. The rain didn't stop, and then we had to enter the rain back home. So fast forward to the next day, one of our classmates told me one of my friend didn't make it home. I was like, how now? Shebi, this boy don't go do Yahoo, not tell us. So he didn't make it home. By the way, I'm from the south, so Yahoo is very common from the south. Yeah, I'm from Warri. Yeah. So that he didn't tell us. Later we realized there were 2. One albino guy and the dark guy, Samson. Fast forward on Wednesday, which is 2 days after, we heard that those boys were slaughtered. They were killed. Same pool that we all were, enjoying ourselves. Now, at that point, when that whole situation came in, I felt like I failed them because I orchestrated the whole event. I mapped out everything. I planned from the start to the finish. How did I miss this? How did I miss this very experience? So going back to that event got me thinking, and I realized what one event can do to a man. So the first thing I realized after that very event is that I failed them, but I don't want to stop at just failing them. So at that point, failure reintroduced myself to me. Failure asked me, Ebuka, without these your guys, because I had to go to a new school because of that very event. Without these your guys, who are you? These were my main G. When we moved together like boss. That kind of Capone and his boys kind of setting. So without these my guys, who am I, Ebuka? So that was the first lesson failure did to me. Failure needed me to ask myself, Ebuka, who are you without these your guys? And every point in time we interact with failure, that's the first thing failure asks us. Without your exam, who are you therefore? And then the second lesson failure taught me was, failure asked me my intentions. Ebuka, from the very onset, why did you go through this journey? Though then they were saying I was trying to show myself. But lately I realized that, man, I'm a people person. I love seeing people together and just enjoying themselves. And that got me into doing different things. If I just went there and say, okay, Ebuka, you did something very bad, so therefore, let's close this chapter. So I will go again. The first lesson failure taught me is that failure introduced me to myself, which is my identity. Number two, failure helped me reflect on my intentions. And number three is that failure helped me renovate, look for new ways to do things. So I realized I had that strong connection with young people. Anytime I see people with uniform, it reminds me of that very experience. So it occurred to me that what if I can do something different than ending someone's life? So I began in the search for how can I create one's life, because I won't say I did ended their life, but I was part of the whole process. And I went into secondary school and I said, okay, let's start off something from my tech ecosystem. Let's teach one person at a time. And we started what we call Dinner by IT solution. We start to teach one person at a time. In 2024, we organized a training that sat about 100 persons, and they were, skilled up with the tech skill. So because of that very event, failure taught me how to innovate. And it's so fascinating about innovation, right? When Thomas Edison was asked, how does it feel to fail 999 times? He then said that I didn't fail 999 times. I just saw 999 ways not to create the light bulb. And that was fascinating. So number 4 is that take responsibility for your failure. Now, many of the times, people don't understand that there are two constant factors, success and failure. But the wrong thing we do is that we identify ourselves to either of them. If you identify yourself to success, you are wrong. Identifying yourself to failure, you are also wrong. Failure and success are events. Your true meaning should not be held by either success or failure. When you succeed, you can take responsibility, and we do that a lot, even in the Igbo culture. When a child succeeds, the father will say, this is my son. When the child fails, this is your mother's, and your mama pikin you be, So do not identify yourself with either success or failure. Take responsibility on either grounds. And number 5, which is the very last one, is that failure is data. Failure is data. Failure is feedback. And if we see and get into that lens of seeing failure as feedbacks, we will see the world in a broader view. In the staircase to greatness, failure is a step. Success is also a step. It's your relationship with either of them that elevates you to the next phase. So my dear friends, I tell you, right, try as much as possible to fail. Yeah. What I mean by that is that you should have audacity to do the things that you are scared of the most. Because what are the chances? It's just two. Either I fail or, and remember we say that both are constant. So when you fail, you understand that, this and this and this are the things I shouldn't do. Now I know the things I shouldn't do. When you succeed, you will say, okay, these are the things I should do. They are data. So do not take failure as an enemy. Rather, bring failure as a friend. Those of you that are scared of dogs here, if you notice, don't try it with any kind of dogs, please. If you notice, if you are scared of dogs and you see someone, maybe a big dog that is coming towards you and you run, it gives them a higher chance to chase you. But if you run towards the dog, you will see that they will, like I said, not all dogs. You will see that they will, retract a bit. So this is to say that run towards failure. And failure, we will try to understand what audacity is this person bringing to the table. Run towards failure. Now, I mentioned that failure is data. If you know that you have about 1 million failure to make before your life ends, how early will you be making that failure? Or you know that you have about 10,000 failure to get one success, how fast will you be making that failure? You make the failure so fast. Fail now, 2, 3, 4, 5, till you get to your 1,000 failure, and then you emerge as your success. And you notice when you are getting to that place, you are being grounded. You are being grounded. That's where experience now comes in. Now, another myth in failure is that some people use the failure to give life lessons. No. You use the lessons learned from the failure to give lessons. You don't use the failure as a lesson. Because two people can experience one failure, right? And the first person will say, I failed because of the system. And the other person will say, wait, let's take a pause. Let's study this failure. How did it happen? And it is that lesson that can save another individual. So my dear friends, I say, we all should learn how to develop a relationship with failure. Do not take failure as an enemy. Life is not failure or success, rather than failure and success. Failure and success. Failure is not bad and success good. No. In the pursuit of greatness, failure and success are in the same line. So you shouldn't change when you approach either of them. You shouldn't change when you approach either of them. Be honest with yourself at the point of failure and take the feedback from it. And say, failure, you are my guy. I've gotten these lessons. Let's get to the next stage. So I will end here. Fail fast, fail first, and fail forward. I remain Ebuka. Let's be together. Thank you very much for your time.